I'm an idiot. As you may have seen a few weeks ago, my bike was stolen, but it was pretty much my own fault. I was in a bit of a rush locking my bike, and then in my haste, I didn't really lock it. I kind of put the lock through the middle of the frame. Basically, I just locked the lamppost. Anyway, I came back an hour or so later, and naturally, my bike had gone. So I mourned my old bike for a couple of days, but then I kind of forgot about that one pretty quickly when I got myself a very shiny new bike. I did, though, still have my old lock. The trouble was on my new bike, unlike my old one, it didn't have a pannier rack, which is what I used to use to carry around my old chain lock. So I thought it's time for a new lock too, one that's a bit easier to carry around. Folding locks have always appealed to me as they just seem so neat and tidy. So I got hold of the Foldylock Compact, which claims to be the lightest folding lock in its category. It actually comes from a company called Citylock because they primarily make bike seats that also double up as folding locks, which is a cool idea and definitely something I want to try out in the future. But for now, I just want to talk about how I found the Foldylock Compact and indeed my first experience with a folding bike lock. Obviously, the most important thing with a bike lock is that it's secure. I mean, you can't expect it to protect your bike if you don't even lock up your bike, you know. But if you do lock it up properly, it should be very difficult for potential thieves to steal your bike. The good news then is that the Foldylock Compact is a Salt Secure silver rated lock. So Salt Secure are basically independent lock checkers for all different types of industry, and they provide 3 different levels of certification for locks they approve of: gold, silver, and bronze. But to be honest, if a lock has any kind of Salt Secure certification, a thief is going to need at least a good few minutes with some serious power tools to get through that lock. So with that in mind, I want to focus on the usability of the Foldylock. One thing I really like about this, and indeed most folding locks, is that it comes with a special case that you can attach to your bike and then put the lock in to carry around when you're cycling, which is obviously very handy. There are 2 ways to attach the case to your bike frame. You can either use the 2 Velcro straps that come with the folding lock to attach to pretty much any part of your frame, or you can do what I've done and screw it into place where the bottle holder usually goes on your bike. Again, Foldylock provides you with the screws and the Allen key needed to do this, and it literally takes a minute or 2 to fasten. I never carry a bottle on my bike anyway, so this was a better option for me. When it comes to locking the bike up, things are really easy. It takes a couple of practices to get used to folding and unfolding the lock efficiently, but once you're used to this, it takes just a few seconds from taking the lock out of the case on your bike and securing it around your bike and obviously another object. Again, make sure you don't just lock up a lamppost or any other random object. Make sure you also fasten this to your bike frame. I also weighed the lock to test out Foldylock's claim that this was the lightest silver-rated folding lock out there, and it was. The lock itself weighs a fraction over 1 kilogram, which is about 2.2 pounds if you're an imperialist, and the case weighs under 100 grams. My scales told me the whole thing came to 1.102 kilograms, which is indeed lighter than any comparable product I could find. After a few weeks of use, I must say I'm loving the folding lock lifestyle. I used to waste a lot of time faffing around with my old lock, whether that was unlooping it from the pannier rack or trying to find it in my bag. But with a folding lock, everything feels a lot more streamlined. It's easy to put on when you arrive at your destination, and it's just as easy to take off and then put back in the case. The Foldylock Compact costs around $85 in the States or about £75 in the UK, which obviously isn't cheap. However, buying a cheap lock is probably the biggest false economy there is, because if you don't properly protect your bike, you'll end up spending a lot more in the long term. That's why it's so important to invest in a rock solid lock, and of course to lock your bike properly. But if you do get this lock, it should protect your bike for years and years and years. So that's all from me for now, but make sure you head to discerningcyclist.com where you can read the full review, and you might even get a special discount. Please don't forget to like and subscribe. I'm planning on doing a lot more video content, so it'd be great to have you on this journey with me. So thanks for watching, and happy cycling.